Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. This week's panel is Tim.
That's me, I think.
And Bill.
The Carnivore.
And myself, Jason. Each week, one of us selects an artist to bring to the panel for everyone to listen, discuss, and rank the studio albums. We will also be mentioning, but not ranking, some notable non-studio album releases along the way. This week is Tim's pick, and he chose Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, yeah, I did.
If it's your pick, you also hold the slap button. If you don't know what that is, go check out Def Leppard, maybe. I know some people should have got slapped in Def Leppard, but that might have been before the slap button.
Yeah.
Shout out to our Patreon member Honky Tonk for suggesting the slap button. You should check out our Patreon as well. If you'd like us to, you can pick an artist for us. You know, if you want us to cover Dwight Yoakam or Sonic Youth or whatever the fuck, we'll cover it.
Malevolent Creation.
That too. Yeah, so we are talking Queens of Stone Age. We are on the last album, 2023's In Times New Roman. This was interesting because this was the first discography that we covered after doing a new release. So we might, it was interesting.
Didn't we do the Foo Fighters?
Did we do was it after the, yeah, that was, shit. Okay, well, it was the second time.
Second
Time that we're, we got to place this new album into a discography after we reviewed it.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. In Times New Roman. Tim, what's up with this record?
Yeah, so like you said, it's the newest one. We do have a first impressions. I feel like I'm going to stand by everything I say in that video. This is the third in what's so far a trilogy as far as the Boneface artwork. And I just noticed on the vinyl that Villains and Like Clockwork are mentioned on this artwork, so it's very definitely a trilogy. I mentioned Like Clockwork. Before I even say that, one of the things I have appreciated about Queens of the Stone Age the most throughout their entire career is that nothing's really spelled out for you. You have to make your own decisions and have your own interpretations of what they're giving you lyrically, musically, thematically, all of the above.
That's true.
I appreciate that.
That's true.
I hate things just being spelled out for me. So I think Like Clockwork is Josh has an existential crisis and isn't sure if he's happy in his life. Villains is trying to say, oh, sorry, I made that public. Can we make this marriage work? And then this one's the divorce. Lyrically, obviously there's a lot of songs on here about Paper Machete, What the People Say, Negative Space, Straight Jacket Fitting, like the whole album, basically. And then musically, I think this is a return to form. I think that they kind of saw that the last couple albums, they were maybe drifting away from what made them them. And I think they're trying to embrace all of that while still retaining what they did on the last couple albums. This is them really trying to embrace their entire, at this point, 25-year career. And I think they do it well. I think this is a step in the right direction. I still say that, I don't know. There's a lot of callbacks to previous albums. There's moments here that remind me of Like Clockwork. There's moments here that remind me of Era Vulgaris. There's moments here that remind me of Lullabies to Paralyze. I think this is it's a really good album. I will go on record and say I think Obscenery is their weakest opener in the discography. That song still hasn't quite connected with me, but it's not bad. I do love the rest of the album, though. I think after that, there is a clunker on here. I was able to see a number of these songs live when I saw them last year, and they all ruled live. Like they did Straight Jacket Fitting, and Josh actually like went on like a 35-minute rant where he ended up walking around the entire Enormo Dome I saw him in, and just telling people how to like. It doesn't matter how you live your life, and it doesn't matter what you did before. All that matters is right now. And I think that's an important message. Not just in music, but just in life. Like, savor the moments, because that truly is all that exists.
Not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I really like this album. I still like What the People Say is just so much fun. Carnivore has really grown on me. Sicily has really grown on me. Made to Parade has grown on me. I think Time and Place is it's much like how Smooth Sailing kind of recalled a couple things they were trying to do on Lullabies. I feel like Time and Place is the cousin, big brother, whatever you want to call it, to Misfit Love from Era Vulgaris, where here's this band showing you that they're still better than your band. Like they're doing all kinds of, it's all very simple, but it's all very syncopated and actually very complicated. And I think they do it really well. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what you guys have to say, especially putting it in context for Jason. And yeah, I think this is a welcome album me as a longtime fan.
I'm curious how Bill feels about this one for somebody, because he wasn't around when we had to review it last year.
Yeah.
Very true.
What did you think of this, Bill?
So this album I'm actually going to approach more as a whole. So a lot of it, I don't want to say this. So Queens of the Stone Age have a distinct sound that they've had through the first 7 albums that exists in this album. But in my opinion, at least, they get more pop rock with a lot of their sounds in here. Maybe not even pop rock, but at least more rock. With a lot of their sounds in here, like it's not the same. I didn't hear any of these songs and go, "Oh, David Bowie." I didn't hear any of these songs and go, "Oh, it's kind of like that." Go with the flow type sound. Like, are there times you might hear it? Yes, but it's not the predominant sound that you're going to hear.
Sure. They're not relying on it.
Exactly. Which, in my opinion, this is the album like, okay, we're going to try something a little bit different. And this is the album that they did it on. I know you mentioned that for the Villains one, if I remember right. And this is one I'm still on the fence on. I like it, then I don't like it. But then I like it again. And I think it's okay. And I think it's great. And I think it's good. I'll say this. For me, my standout songs on this album were Carnivore and Negative Space actually was the other one that stood out to me.
One too, yeah.
I definitely would agree that Obscenery wasn't as great of an opening track, but I think it was better than the last couple. Might be an unpopular opinion on that one, but
yeah, maybe Feet Don't Fail Me has it beat for worst, honestly.
And that, let's see if I'm right.
But I like it better than, like, say, Keep Your Eyes Peeled and Turning on a Screw. I think, yeah. I think
I like
it's not as good as either of those.
Wait, what are y'all talking about? The opening track?
Track.
Scenery.
Yeah.
And I guess, considering they used to have good goddamn opening and closing track tandems, like especially early on in their discography. it was a letdown to see that kind of false wayside. They've kept at least decent ending tracks, great ending tracks. So now it's like, okay, to hell with the opening, but we're gonna at least still have a good ending track. It's like, I mean, not that you need
Can't
to
all be
always.
singers.
I mean, not that you always need to follow like a formula for everything, but like, I mean,
Well, but I mean, every band has a formula. It's just whether you have a formula that 500 other bands have, or if you have your own formula. But every band has a formula.
Well, I mean, I'm talking like the album formula from the standpoint,
Sure.
not like like you need a song about this, you need a song about this, but like the general vague-ish overall.
Mm-hmm.
You should have a solid opening track to keep the listener entertained and coming back again, without having to rely on the singles.
Well, and so I agree with you, but I also we need to address the elephant in the room where this is no longer an album oriented product. It's a streaming product. And so album
that is something that's fallen to the wayside recently.
Yes. Yeah, as the track listing and how you put together an album really doesn't matter anymore.
Which, honestly,
but it does.
It doesn't. But it doesn't. It's saying like what your 1 through 10 doesn't mean anything. It doesn't.
Right.
Especially when it's making a playlist on Spotify or YouTube or iTunes, whatever playlist, whatever 10 albums they could go Paper Machete to Sicily to Obscenary to Straight Jacket Fitting to Emotion Sickness, and there's it's the same. Yeah. It's the same tracks, but it's not
right.
The order doesn't matter. Which I'll say that from my perspective,
which is a lost art.
It is, and I'm talking about this. Wizard of Stone Age just happens to be the victim in this circumstance to be talking about it. It's a lost art that I appreciated.
Sure.
When you grab the CD, you like listening 1 through 10 or 1 through 18 or 1 through 6 or however long that CD or cassette or vinyl. I only listened to a couple of vinyl, I'll be honest, which is unfortunate because vinyl has the best sound. If you don't know, you are missing out on that.
If you know, you know. No, I get it. You're expecting one thing, and theoretically, it should be universal. You want to hit them right up front, and you want to take them for a ride, and you want to close them out really good.
You guys you've mentioned this a couple times in this discography, Bill, about having that first opening track as a punch. I agree, yes, but sometimes, and I'm not even talking about End Times New Roman with this, but Green Day's Dose opens up with a short, not even 2 minute long, might even not even be a minute, opening acoustic song. It doesn't punch you in the face, but it's short, it's sweet, it still grabs your attention. And now a song doesn't have to punch you in the face as an opening track for it to work as an opening track.
Let's go back to Lullabies to Paralyze.
Yes. That's
exactly.
It doesn't have to punch you in the face. Maybe that was a bad verbiage, but it needs something that grabs.
Words matter, Bill. Words matter.
I know, and I'm terrible with words. I've always admitted that. But a punch in the face grabs your attention. Something, it needs to grab your attention and pique your interest to, what else is going on after this opening track occurs.
So both you and Tim agree that Obscenary is not, because I think Tim said it was his low point on the record.
Yeah, but I'm going to take that back and say it's my second low point. Because, Feet Don't Fail Me, I think, is worse. But whatever. I still like them both.
We're talking about the opening tracks. Which one's better or worse throughout the discography?
Yeah. I think you guys are sleeping on that intro.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see it being a grower. It still hasn't hit me, but I don't dislike it.
I immediately better than the last two opening tracks.
Okay.
It's got crunchy guitars are back in full force, the odd tempo changes, everything that made this early album so good. Paper Machete, it rocks. I remember really liking this one when we did the review. It still holds up. Crazy ass guitar solos. Shit is great. Negative Space, sexy bass tone, full of force. In an atmosphere I don't recognize. I don't know what's true, particularly if it's from you. Oh, betrayal, it tears me up inside. I'm just a fool who is terrified. That old Brody, eh? Time and Place is great. Made to Parade, it's bluesy, noisy, it hits hard. Josh sounds so much more energized on this record and passionate, angry than he's been for quite a while. It reminds me of Era Vulgaris. Fantastic lyrics like, you're sure to be a winner, babe, give your best years away to a bloated corporation who will work you like a slave. Best think twice. Love it. Carnavoyeur, channeling that inner David Bowie again. He's got it going on. What the People Say, the first note about this one. In the Propaganda lyric video for Failed Imagineer, at the beginning he says, all right, people, we're going to have a rock and roll party tonight. And they spell it with peephole, like Queens does. Second note, top song contender, classic Queens of the Stone Age. When that second guitar comes in, it's heaven. Towards the back half, it has a little Glenn Danzig going on.
It's also very danceable.
It's fucking good, though. It's fucking good.
No, it's real good.
Sicily's probably my low point. Takes a while to get going.
Okay.
That's interesting.
It's very minimalistic, but it still sounds good.
Apparently is the one the fans are begging for them to play on the next leg of the tour.
Okay. I will say, I didn't mention it, but that was one of my higher points as well.
I think it's going to end up being a really rad live.
I think we're going to be all over the place in the rankings on this one. Emotion Sickness is great. Straight Jacket, best closing track since Run Pig Run. It's dark, it's brooding, it's bluesy, it's brutal lyrically. It's also where the album gets its name from. The string section. Oh,
and we should also point out, this is the second Roman reference. Of course, Era Vulgaris is Latin for the common times.
It's a hard album to rank.
Yeah.
It is a hard album to rank. But I think I got the perfect spot for it.
But do you know our perfect spots for it?
It is my turn to guess again, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That right.
I think Bill's going to have it number 8.
What? No.
You talked a lot of shit. It's got to be better than
villains. It's better than villains.
No.
Okay, yeah, it's better.
Tell you what, do Tim's and come back to mine and then figure out where I have it ranked.
All right, Tim.
I'm looking at a spot.
It's better than Villains.
Yeah.
Shirley is better than that.
Yeah. This is where you're going to have tough because you don't think anything's better than this.
Right. But I think you didn't like this one as much, so I think it's better than that for you.
It's not the spot I was looking at, so you are correct.
Not better than the first, though.
Again, not the spot I was looking at, but I hear your argument.
Okay.
This is where I've been having the problem ranking a number of these albums, honestly. Because if I'm looking at them objectively, then I think it's as good as, like Clockwork Up. Like, I think it's better than Villains.
I think 4 is a good spot for it.
I think 4 is a good spot for it too. Honestly, that is the spot I was looking at.
I think you should put it there. That's where
I think it's very reminiscent of Lullabies, and I think the quality is there.
I agree. I think it's honestly, I think it's a little better than Lullabies.
Okay. And so because I can't go there, and because one of the themes that we've introduced in our entire channel is the idea of nostalgia. Here I am, an old drunken dude looking back 20 years ago on an album I loved in a good time of my life at a great age to be. And so is what's making this not be better than Lullabies just my nostalgia?
That's always the trick whenever to me, when it's my turn, like when I pick like Propaganda's coming up,
sure,
I'm gonna struggle harder with those rankings than I will with Nickelback, because I have no ties to any of those Nickelback records. I can rank them however I want. But I get it.
And these albums have been here. These albums have been with me my entire adult life.
Yeah.
And like I can mark my life to these albums. So it's, that's like the definition of nostalgia. And again, the colors will tell all.
Yes, absolutely.
The colors will tell all, yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd put it above Lullabies, but that's just me.
And that's cool. That's cool. Strong record. They came out swinging last year, and I'm here for it still.
Bill didn't talk too highly of it, though. Like, that's why I think.
Did I? I just commented on the first track, really. Like, I said I liked the rest of it. Like, it was.
No,
said
you
it was
talking about how they was just discography fatigue and.
Well, you got more to say on it, Bill, or?
Yeah, you got more to say? Wait, let me ask you this. Just remind my old drunken ass. What did you think of the closer?
Closer was solid. More than solid. Closer was great.
And I know you like Sicily. What do people say? What do you think about that one? You liked the back half. You didn't like the first half. Right?
No, that was the last album.
That was the last
couple albums.
Okay, all right. Let me rethink this. All right, it's better than this.
Yes, it is.
It's not. It's fucking surely better than that. Let's just go ahead and move it up here. Because these rankings are wrong anyway, putting songs for the deaf above that shit.
That's that. Well, I can't hate on it, though. He's not wrong.
I think he is. It's not fucking better than Rated R.
Oh, it is absolutely not better than Rated R. I'll say this. You were actually close. You had it right almost before. It's right below Songs for the Deaf.
Well, that's where Okay.
But no, that's not where you had it before. You initially had it at 8. You're like, 7. It's like, okay, time out. Do Tim's and come back to mine to see what.
Well, yeah, but you had this motherfucker up here and it threw me off.
But Clockwork. That's.
I respect it. Like I got no problem with that.
When we
get color coding this shit, it will make a lot more sense. And I mentioned this beforehand, and I'll reiterate this again. In my opinion, I am going to be exceptionally harsh in order to do something for this discography.
That's good. I like that. Because I think going through, and now that we've done all 8, I'm starting to think I'm going to have the harshest color code. So,
well, it's time. So, do you want to start with the harshest, or do you want me to set my my fan bar?
I would like to go last, if possible.
Yeah, set the fan bar. Bar.
So, yeah, looking at my rankings, I'm really happy with it because it's got the first and the last albums right in the middle. And I think they're both like pretty strong. Um, and so thinking of my line as a spectrum, 1 through 7 are going to be green. I can see the argument for any of those albums. And because of that, and because of the universal rankings here, I'll put Villains a very strong yellow.
Okay.
Again, if 7 out of 8 are great, then the 8th one might be for you. So yeah, that's gonna be where I'm at.
Jason, you should follow this one up before I go.
Oh, I'll definitely follow that up. I was pleasantly surprised by this discography.
Yes.
Era was fucking phenomenal. Rated R was phenomenal. Songs for the Death was phenomenal. Going back, revisiting that one's green. Lullabies has its moment. Even the self-titled was great. But I'm going to go caution on Villains. Or I'm sorry, Like Clockwork, because it just wasn't my vibe. It wasn't bad. And if you like the other 6, you'll probably find something on Like Clockwork you like too. And even Villains is yellow. It just wasn't my vibe. It was still good music. It just wasn't what I wanted from the band.
Sure.
And it was their father of all motherfuckers. And, it works. It's still a great album. Probably better than a lot of things that came out that year. It just wasn't what I wanted through the discography. So I still give it no reds here. Fucking great pick. I'll give you that.
Thank you. Sometimes I'm gonna swing and hit. Sometimes I'm gonna swing and miss. But
I could easily buy the first 4 to 5 on vinyl. Especially Air Vulgaire. I'm probably gonna get Air Vulgaires. 100%.
they just reissued it like when Like Clockwork came out, so you should be able to find a copy.
Yeah, I saw it. I spent too much money on records already this year or this
I know.
month.
Well, and if you can find an original, it's 3 10-inches. And you get the bonus track Running Joke. I don't know if that's on any of the reissues. It might be. But I'm pretty sure all the reissues are full LPs. Maybe 2 if they did it at 45. I'm not sure. But
yeah, there's just one on Amazon that has like a green cover. Like it looks like it comes with a 7-inch or something. I was interested in.
I'd grab it. Let me know what it is. Send me. You did send me a link. I might look at it. I might grab it. No, green cover, cool.
I love Air Vulgaris. That's such a fucking great record. All right, Bill, lay it on us with your negativity.
You're damn right. So, Jason, here's what I want you to do first. I want you to go to that red cell. I want you to go down 2. You heard me right. I want you to go down 2.
Always picking a new color.
Just do me a favor. Go down 2. I want you to control copy that.
The color?
Yep, just control copy the cell. Or as you would normally.
The red, right? Yeah, it's control
No. The one below
Just
the red.
the blank one. Go down one more.
Yep, that one right there. I want you to then go up a space. I want you to paste that shit. And I want you to paste it on the one right below. Run right below that. Paste that too.
What the fuck are you
Because red shouldn't even be on the goddamn screen for Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay, all right.
The hell with that shit. Again, right. I am being exceptionally harsh on my rankings.
What a fucking psych out, you bitch.
I want you to select that goddamn green square now. All right? I want you to go to 1.
No whammies.
All right.
I want you to paste it. Go to 2. Paste it. Go to 3. Paste it. Go to 4. Paste it. Go to 5. Paste it. Go to 6. Paste it.
Come on, dude. It's a good opening. It's a good debut. It's a good debut. Go back and listen to it. I'm telling you. Go back and listen to it.
Oh, he will. 98.
I will. I said I was going to be exceptionally harsh.
Yeah.
It ain't no pretty fly for a white guy.
I need you to select that yellow and do yellow on those last 2. And this is me, Tim, again, this is me being exceptionally harsh.
No, I
was
dig
worried
it. I dig it.
You were going to be straight green the whole way through on this.
The motherfucker made me erase my
This
red.
is me being straight. This is me being as neutral as possible.
Like, anyone who says any of these albums you shouldn't listen to needs to not
They're
recommend
wrong,
music
right?
for the rest of their life. Honestly. Even Villains, as for the discography, bad as it was. And again, for the discography,
Right.
it was bad.
Right.
For anyone else's discography, phenomenal album. I mean, Tim, you said it best. The first song that you didn't like came, track 9 of that album?
It was the previous album. It was the last song on Like Clockwork was the first song in the discography.
Right.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying. And there's no songs on Villains I don't not like.
Exactly. Like, it's a solid album. It's not a good album. It's a solid album.
I just noticed Tim and I lined up. The only difference we have is where Era Vulgaris is.
Oh, wow.
If you switch those two,
so
it lines up perfectly. Yeah, that's crazy.
See, and that's when I've always had problems with that one. Because again, like, I love those first 3 albums. Those first 3 albums, like, I adore. And Lullabies and Era Vulgaris are both just, like,
yeah, we have
those
two switched. Lullabies and Times New Roman.
Okay.
I just go completely off the rails from you guys, but that's okay.
Yeah,
no, it works.
That's interesting, though.
Again, the color coding tells all.
Yeah, there's no red on the
all
board.
All those albums are phenomenal.
There's red even gone.
Again, this is me being exceptionally harsh on this discography. You need to listen to those 6 albums. If you haven't, why?
Yeah.
You need
Glad you guys liked it. I hope our viewers do too. Because, I love this band. I think everybody should be listening to them. I think they're probably the best rock band of the 21st century so far.
The case could be made.
They're a 90s band.
The case could be made for that, honestly.
I mean, 21st century hasn't given us a lot, though, to be fair.
But we're also a quarter into the century, so we got to really actually start considering that kind of thing.
Yeah, we're in the roaring 20s now.
Yeah.
What roaring 20s?
Yeah, I'm roaring. All right.
That has been our rankings for Queens of the Stone Age. Let us know your rankings down below. We all have a different number 1, which is kind of crazy. Is your number 1 Songs for the Deaf? Or is it...
Yeah, statistically, Rated R would be the best one. Because it's the only one that's in the top 2. Well, and Era Vulgaris. Yeah.
Rated R is the only one that's in the top 3 for all of us.
Yeah, Rated R is definitely the highest rated.
I beat down Songs for the Deaf slightly, then you beat down Era Vulgaris like none other.
Love that album.
And Lullabies
kind of petered out.
Which is still a great fucking album. Like,
I mean, it's
you can't go wrong. Honestly, you can't go wrong with this band. As long as
Yeah,
Villains
man,
isn't your
I
first
can't wait
record,
for Top Songs. Top Songs is gonna be fun.
Top Songs is gonna be a fun.
I gotta rearrange my shit so nobody steals some shit. Cause
That's what I gotta do as well.
I'm not worried.
stick around for that.
Tim's
Like,
got 30
subscribe.
songs.
We're gonna do our top songs next. Next week's Nickelback. If you missed last week, it was Alice in Chains. That was my pick. A lot of green on that
That was
one
another
too.
good pick.
So be safe. Make good decisions.
Listen to
Like
Queens
feel
of the
good
Stone
into the
Age.
summer.